everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker, and today is June. What does June mean? June is my birthday month. Don't ask which June. I'm not a type of, I don't want to really celebrate on that day. Whatever. Long story short, I'm not the type of birthday person, but I do celebrate it from within in a weird way. Anyway, because it is my birthday month, thank you. I have a special selection, as every year, for the top of the month perfumes. So my top 5 perfumes for the month of June 2019 are, let's begin with this beauty here, Paris Riviera. Oh my gosh, I am in love. Some of you don't like it. What can I tell you? To me, it's grown to be, at the moment, really my favorite of the Les Zoos. Of the 4 Les Zoos, this is the Zoos to be. In the morning, I begin my day with this one. It's so softly refreshing. It's like it rained throughout the night, and then in the morning, there's that dewy kind of, it's kind of humid outside because of the water, but it also starts warming up, and that humidity just kind of elevates and dissipates, and as it dissipates, you're almost in a weird way refreshed. Love it. I begin the day with Paris Riviera in June. Now, as refreshing as this one is, it can go in a totally other direction. And this one, I probably always pick it as my favorite for the month of June, and it is this year as well. CUIR de RUSSIE by Chanel, the eau de toilette. But not just the eau de toilette, I also love the pure perfume. I don't know if I should lay it flat. I don't want it to leak. Let's not risk it. Let's just put it there. CUIR de RUSSIE in eau de toilette form, incredible, because it's cooler than the eau de parfum. So I'm not a big fan of the Les Exclusives eau de parfums, except for a few. I do admit that there are a few that I do like, but this one is the eau de toilette. It's majestic. There's hay in here, leather, smoke, roses, orris root, hints of tobacco. It's warm and cooling at the same time. I don't know. I do not know why, but it's June to me, mostly. Firstly and foremostly. A lot of people say that they like to use it in winter when it's cold outside. I like to use this one in June. I also use it in winter sometimes, but smelling the lid now, I don't know. It just brings also so many memories. So many memories in June. Plus, this bottle was purchased for me by my mom, so it's also very symbolic and special. So, CUIR de RUSSIE, love you so much. Moving on, after the hay, the roll in the hay, I like a little bit of zesty freshness, a little bit of Mediterranean flair, a little bit of grass, maybe even fields of lavender. Nobody does lavender like Jersey's pure perfume. I love the eau de toilette as well, but the eau de toilette doesn't deliver the oily, essential lavender that the pure perfume does. This thing is incredible. It's addictive. It's so good. I don't want to say it's better than the actual lavender plant if you rub the leaves and the little flowers in your hands. It's different, of course, but in terms of synthetic lavender, this is as close as it gets, and it's just delicious, mixed with a special type of very cold vanilla that Jacques Polge developed for Chanel. This one is a winner. Oh, I don't want to lay it down. I'm scared it's going to leak. So, after the roll in the hay, we got a roll in the fields of lavender, oily lavender, the glistening sun, delicious. After that, we abstract ourselves as we go into Chanel No. 5, the pure perfume, and we detach from that concrete materialism. The leather was material, was very specific. The Riviera description was very specific. Jersey, the lavender is very specific. Here we move into abstract territories. This is an abstraction. As evening comes, as the sun goes down, we want to kind of wash away that heat and that oil from our skin. And the crickets are in the background. I want to say crickets are chirping, but they're not birds. They don't chirp. The crickets cricket. What do they do? I don't know. Well, they're really horny when they do it. So you can imagine the whole scenario. And this is just incredible. It kind of detaches us from all that earthly stuff and brings us into a realm of abstraction, complete, total, and utter abstraction. And number 5 is the most famous perfume when it comes to abstraction. As the abstraction has arrived, I go into warm territories. We're talking 11 p.m.-ish. I go haute couture. I go incredibly fabulous. I just dress up for myself. I don't even dress up to go outside. I just feel lavishly fabulous, and I go to 31 Rue CAMBON. I go literally to 31 Rue CAMBON by spraying myself fully with the eau de toilette. This is the eau de toilette, not the eau de parfum. I love it. It is also very abstract. Jacques Paul conceived this fragrance, not Olivier. Jacques describes it as the couture version of fragrance. And it really is. And many don't like it. It's a fougère like no other. It's so complex. To many, it's going to smell, I hate when people give age to fragrances and they're going to say, oh, it smells like an old perfume. No, it doesn't. We don't like that to begin with. But if you're going to put some sort of date on it, I would put a date of another world. It's as if it came from another world where haute couture is the word du jour. It's on everybody's mouths. It's the only thing that's happening. And it's so routine that you don't even question it anymore. It's like you take for granted the fact that everybody is incredibly dressed. For themselves, mind you, not for others. But they just love to experiment, to try out new things, to create something with their own hands. This really inspires you to do that. So at night, we're talking from 11 p.m. onwards, this gives me the kick. It inspires me, triggers inspiration. And because it is the month of June and the month of my birthday, I'm going to kind of break the rules a little, and we're going to add a 6th fragrance. And the 6th fragrance, after this one has inspired me, has triggered the inspiration around 11 p.m. and crossing over to the new day, maybe perhaps as my birthday kicks in, I go all berserks, bananas, ballistic, in a good way, obviously in a creatively artistic good way, and that's where Sycomore comes in. Sycomore is the fragrance of artists, I would say. Only the eau de toilette, you guys. I cannot stand the eau de parfum. I try, I retry every time at Chanel. I want to love it, but I can't. Whatever Sycomore eau de toilette is, the eau de parfum is the opposite of it, and not in a good way. So whoever managed to grab some eau de toilette bottles, lucky you. Otherwise, what can I say? The eau de parfum, if you never ever smelled in your life eau de toilette, I guess you could like the eau de parfum, but otherwise it's impossible. Because this one is cold, it's wet, it's dirty. The vetiver, it's like you're pulling it out of the soil and it's so wet and humid and dirty. And the eau de parfum is dry and warm and almost crispy in a way. There's nothing dirty about it, there's nothing wet about it. Two very, very different fragrances. This one takes the cake in terms of creativity and creation. And by the way, if you are a patron on Patreon, you could check out my Patreon channel right now, or my Patreon profile, because to celebrate the occasion, there is a new episode of Inside Sycomore for the occasion. The June edition of Inside Sycomore, only exclusively on Patreon and for my patrons. So for those of you who don't know, I have been creating in the past years a series that's called Inside Sycomore. I think we're up to episode 7 by now. So the next episode is now on Patreon. So enjoy that. I hope you will. It's going to be very abstract, but that's the creativity. We go through this entire process to hit the top, the peak in the middle of the night when you can't sleep. You're tormented by your own demons. Creative demons, mind you. You start creating, you start transforming and translating everything that's inside your psyche. And it soothes the soul, because when you're creative, you manage to feel alive and you manage to feel like you can conquer any obstacle and any negative thing that comes your way. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please do thumb it up and let me know what your top fragrances for the month of June are. in the comment section down below. Also follow me here on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Super Dacob all spelled together, and of course also on Patreon. Thank you so much to all my patrons thus far, and to all the new ones coming along. And if you wish to check out the Never Give Up on Love merch, it's underneath the video in the bar underneath. Thank you guys so much for watching. Never give up on love. See you soon. Bye.